Hi, Shailini ma'am. Glad to have you today.
Nice to talk to Aisha and look forward to doing some work together. So, yeah, thank you.
So, Moral Fibre is something that I came to know of when I went to Vastrapur Haat, and I bought a really cute toy made out of cloth, cotton cloth, and it was a cute elephant. So then I got to know what Moral Fibre is. But I would love to hear from you what values, standards, and what aim does Moral Fibre have in the area of sustainable fashion?
Yeah, very interesting the way the whole thing developed. I am trained as an architect and I practiced here and I was in Pondicherry and then I was in London for many years. But my main specialization was sustainability in buildings, so energy efficiency and sustainability, using natural materials, how we can use the orientation, directions, and all that. Designing the building, cooling the buildings without air conditioning, all those kind of things that I was working on. And then we moved back to India, and I was still practicing as an architect. But I come from a freedom fighter family. My aunt Indumati Ben was a freedom fighter. She was an educationist. She worked with women's empowerment, and she has been my mentor all my life. So, and one of the things that she was very passionate about was khadi, handcrafted fabric, handspun, handwoven. And when I looked at it all again with a fresh pair of eyes, I realized that I talk about sustainability so much, but the khadi fabric is one of the most sustainable fabric because it's almost carbon neutral. It supports the local community. It supports women. It is almost carbon neutral. It is biodegradable. So all the ills of the fashion industry or clothing industry that we have now, khadi can kind of show away. And as one of my tributes to her, my mentor, I started looking at the khadi scene again. The Moral Fibre actually started from there. And we support handcrafted fabric. We don't really own any factory or any of the institution because we believe the artisans do really well. But it's about processing the fabric, bringing in the quality, marketing it, promoting it. And we start from the fabric to the end, recycle, upcycle everything. That's what Moral Fibre is about.
That's wonderful. So you're trained as an architect, and the
Yes,
skills that you have developed through your education, you utilize it in something else.
absolutely.
Would you like to talk a little about importance of creativity and other skills, focusing more on skills for kids in education compared to just knowledge? Because those transferable skills students could apply to a different things, set of things.
Yes, absolutely. Um, yeah, I completely believe that, and I think it worked quite well in my case as well, I think, is that once you are trained as an architect, because architect does take on so many different skills, apart setting up from systems to building material to design to human body to comfort to history, heritage, all those things are sort of combined in that. And I'm sure so many other fields have those kind of a multiple um, um, development criteria or multi-level development criteria for a person. So those skills always remain. And somebody like me moving from there to textiles or clothing, I think again the advantage for me was that khadi was in my DNA because of my background. So that information, that knowledge was also there. And then I applied the pressure approach and sustainability approach and systems into clothing, which is a very different if I had come from a textile background.
Correct. So those skills like creativity and critical thinking, when we talk about a startup, sustainability is something that is like sustainable development goals is something that we are considering seriously right now in the world, and the world needs those areas to be worked upon. So when we talk about introducing roti, kapda, or makan basics, sustainability in those fields to students, we would like for students to have an outlook that combines all the relatively important entrepreneurial aspects, the creativity that they will need to work upon, like coming up with the areas that have not been worked upon. For example, in Moral Fibre's case, it's the toys that we have never worked upon, and coming up with cotton khadi toys is something really creative. So when we come together and for our collaboration, when we talk to children, would you like to specifically focus on few aspects that this field brings in for you?
Sure, sure. No, I think it's a very important question. Along with my work, in my work processes, I do teach. I take workshops. I take lessons with entrepreneur development or design studios and various other aspects. Also with the young kids, I have done a little bit of work with them as well. And one thing I tell most of the entrepreneurs or startups that in today's day and age, with the climate change, with the net zero future that we all need to create, it is not something that is just aside. It is a completely the primary responsibility or primary goal of anything that we do. So always take sustainability, regeneration, and energy efficiency as the core of the business. It's not something that you can add on.
Yeah,
Everything, your business should be focused on that. And once you take that into focus and take any new in any industry, any businesses you want to go to, it does open the doors of innovation. Because if you want to implement those things, you have to find innovative ways. So that takes in the design thinking, that takes in the innovation, that takes in the sustainability as a core. And all future businesses have to do that, and that makes it actually more exciting, more challenging. It creates a niche for yourself. So all of that really comes into it.
correct. And when we talk about little kids, how important do you think that having, most number of startups in the world, do you think it is a really good opportunity for Indian kids to connect with such startups and get to know the cutting edge industry and the applications of the things that they might be studying in their schools?
Yeah. I see that. I mean, I work with children, and one of the things that I find is that children should be taught uh, sustainability, respecting the Mother Earth, working something towards supporting regenerativity. It should be a lifestyle choice, and that lifestyle choice has to be should start from the childhood. So
Correct.
all the information that has been passed on, that has to have that element into it. And when I did workshops with children, first of all, many people don't even know how the fabrics are made or what they are made of or how they are, how different they are from each other, what kind of qualities that they have, what kind of implications that they have. And it can be explained and introduced in a very fun kind of a manner, child kind of a manner. But people do at the end of a whatever short or long course. My or our team's first interest is to explain how
Yeah.
the fabrics are made, how the fabrics are different from each other, and then maybe at the second stage, what they do to the environment, to the people, to yourself, and so it's not something that you can. But it is all with the touch, feel, understanding, feeling of the quality, making it into a play, recognizing things with your just a bit of a knowledge, but more of a self-exploration. So all that really, really helps. So I think what you are doing for children as a startup with children's awareness, I think uh, I think we all agree that sustainability must be the focus of everything.
True. At the end, I would like to request you to shine some light on what parents might need to know at this hour of, importance of such practices and why kids need to know this at this age.
Okay. Um, the parents do play a very important role, and the workshops that I have attended, I try to get the parents roped in as well. Like give some work or give some activities to the children to do at home, so parents also can get educated into what they are doing. And the whole one thing that I find it so amazing working with children is they create the sense of wonder, create
Yeah.
the sense of excitement, create a sense of discovery. And if that discovery and excitement is shared with the parents, I think the whole their communication changes as well. And I think that is very important. And on the other hand, you give the parents the insight of what we are doing, and they become part of the team, and then they all work together. So I think it has a very specific, at the same time, very long term repercussions, because all the other discussions that happen at home, or talks that have happened, all that can be can these thoughts can really bring those ideas and thoughts and actions into practice. So it's not just about the cotton, how it grows, and you did a little bit of farming thing. You talk about how the vegetables, and you talk about the organic. All those are extremely fundamental things about roti kapda makan, and that can be passed on to the younger children with, as I said, with a sense of wonder and excitement and discovery, and then shared with the parents. And I think that really completes the circle.
That's wonderful. I think this interview has been really insightful, and it will really help us propagate this idea far and wide. So thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You